This is the weekly tarot reading for thinkers, people who tend to process life through the mind.
Hi, I'm Lori. I'm a tarot reader and spiritual counselor. And if you're new here, thinkers are people who process life through the mind. And in the tarot, that connects to the suit of swords. If you're not sure whether or not you're a thinker, there's a free quiz in the description below. So let's look at the cards for this week. The theme is around where you're shrinking in your life or where you're apologizing for the way that you're showing up. And what this is showing me with you this week is you're caught in a critical loop right now because you're expending energy in places you don't want to. You want to be able to step forward with your own vision and with the things that you want to do. And you're apologizing for that. You're shrinking by not giving time to what's important to you and putting everybody else first. Now, there's a way to have both. And it is showing that you don't have to overthink it. You don't have to fill your mind with the thoughts that you're responsible. And if you're not responsible, who won't be? Who will be, rather? It's really about figuring out how can you honor the other person and how can you honor yourself. You have all the tools you need, you're just not putting them to use. You know, this is an opportunity to look at the way that you end up feeling vulnerable because you're not also taking care of yourself. And you're the one blocking yourself. You're the one causing your own discontent. It's not the other person. You're the one who has agreed. You're the one who has said yes. So before saying yes too quickly, ask yourself honestly, if I say yes, am I going to regret it or be ticked off about it in any way? And you have to clean that up before you can come from your whole heart. Because if you're not coming from your whole heart, when you're helping, you're not helping. Because energetically, you're bringing all of that angst to the situation. So if you are feeling overwhelmed this week by your own responsibilities and you're being asked by somebody else to add something to your plate, be honest with yourself. Can you take something off your plate, or what could you shuffle around? How could you show up and honor them and also honor what's on your plate? And when you do that, it shows that, you know, somebody may not be happy that you're giving them less time than they need. However, you are still showing up. So part of you is going to feel like, I got to do exactly what they want me to do, or they're not going to like me. You know what? If you do something you don't really want to do, you're not going to like that person and you're not going to like yourself. So it doesn't mean that you can't offer help and support. It just means that you offer it in a way that also supports you, and that can be done. You can be honest. In other words, if somebody's asking you, hey, I'd love to borrow $100, and you know that giving them that $100 will make you short that week for your groceries, you can say, you know what, I could give that person, I could loan that person $40 this week. That won't impact my budget in a negative way. And so you say to that person, hey, you know what would work? I can loan you 40 because 100 would cut into my groceries. So I'm going to go ahead and I can say yes to loaning you 40. So you see how you didn't say no and you still showed up, but you also took yourself into consideration. That's what self-care is. That's what self-love is. So when today, or this week, if you're being asked to do something, check in with yourself first. Don't shrink and just say yes because you don't know how to say no. Or you're not necessarily saying no. Don't say yes because you don't know how to ask for what would also support you. So if this reading brought up something that you want to work through more personally, and you're trying to get straight on how to communicate that, that's something I enjoy doing with one-on-one sessions. And the link to book is in the description. So I'd love to hear in the comments how you feel like, what's one thing you could say to someone? Actually, no. How can you come from your heart more when you want to say no? How can you come from your heart more? How can you, in a kind way, let somebody know that what they're asking you for is not something that you can provide? And if you haven't watched Sunday's full reading yet, that's a good place to start. And if you want more readings like this one, I've got a playlist just for thinkers, and that's linked below. Subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one.
Thank you for watching. Don't forget to like, comment, and share.